Yes, we're starting, and it looks like we're live. Welcome, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, to the podcast that's usually over here getting it together for you guys every single week, except for one out of the given month. It's the Gamers at Large podcast, episode 12, and here we are going from order of left to right. Jamie, do your thing.
Hey guys, Jamie Butterworth here, trying to finish up dinner and also celebrating my first week of actually being on YouTube.
Alrighty then. And by the way, catch his channel, Jamie Buttersworth. I'm over here trying not to say what Mr. T said in his video.
My bad, Jimmy. My bad.
I'm trying so hard not to say that now. It's all stuck in my head. All right. And up next, we got ourselves Jay, the man, the myth, the legend. Do your thing.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's episode has been brought to you by bad coaching decisions. That's right, bad coaching decisions. Like going for a field goal when you should just down it and go to halftime, you freaking idiot. But enjoy the show tonight, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have fun, eat up the rest of your turkey and all that. We have a good show planned for you.
Don't fall asleep because you had too much turkey in the middle of the podcast, though.
Yeah, don't fall asleep. Just remember that you lost money on that damn Iron Bowl last night, and you'll wake right back up.
And up next, we got the bouncer of the group, the guy who sits up here and puts the burn on just so well, Mr. T.
Who, me? Hey, fools. Mr. T back with another podcast. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? And Shadow Fox, I can't tell if he wants to be muted or not. I would introduce him up next, but he's muted.
Oh, he's off. Well, is he on?
Shadow, are you on?
Most definitely.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, there you go. Introduce yourself.
Well, you know who it is. Road Ninja K9 Descent, Shadow Fox. I would like to let everybody know that Chipworks, Eurogamer, and Marcan did not create the Wii U, and therefore they do not know the specs. Please get it
right.
Okay. Topic.
Ooh, sounds like a topic to me. I told Neil Gaffer have fun with that one.
Because they swear everything he found was true.
Oh, Lord.
Trolling will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, up next we got Nintendo, the Zen Gamer, the Zen Man. Do your thing.
Hey guys, for the second time today, you're probably real tired of hearing me. Nah, you're not. You love me. Anyway, back again, different podcast. Quan and the boys, Gamers at Large. So, nothing much else to say other than sit down and enjoy it. Let's do this.
Let's do our thing here then. And here, of course, is me, myself, and I, the QMC Quan Manchu. Unofficial moderator, you could say. You know what I'm saying? But, trying to sit up here and keep things nice and cozy over here. And, we're going to try to keep the topics coming to you. And if you guys have any questions, and to our man keeping an eye on things, Jay, if you see anything of importance that people want to bring up in the middle of the podcast, feel free to let us know what the question is, okay?
Will do.
Alrighty. But I wanted to start off with a certain topic that I had on a video this week, and it was concerning a little pattern that I'm starting to see out of Nintendo with their social networking and how a monkey wrench got thrown in the works because of certain perverted people. Okay? And basically what it is I've been taking a lot of note that there's been a lot of ramping up in, the fidelity of YouTube on the Wii U, as well as the launch of YouTube on the 3DS. And this is coming prior towards the launch of Miiverse on the 3DS. So, being that they're using the same, they're using the same exact voice chat software, video as, what we're using right now, I'm wondering for sure, because I've brought this up in times past, is if they're trying to make some type of unified chat system, and that's why they had to lock down all that perversion as quick as they could.
Yeah.
That's think about how desperate they were to lock down that perversion as quick as possible before Miiverse hit.
Yeah, that's
it's a real thinker, because on one hand they're going full blown with other features and getting it up and working, smoothing out all the bugs, ironing it out and such. Yet on the other hand, they appear to be moving away from it. It's confused me, to say the least, what they're going to do in the future. But you are right on at least one of those things. You were dead on in that it appears that something's going on behind the scenes, or at least was going on prior to that whole incident. That the public, that is to say us, we didn't know about it. Will it happen? Still, I don't know. I have no idea what they're planning to do in the long run. But hey, let's hope for the best, I guess. Crossed fingers.
Because it would be interesting to see if they made a ladder system like they plan on doing with Miiverse, and made it so that you could record a ladder system using Hangouts. Once they refine Hangouts so that you don't have too much of that reverb, that laggy voice.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they could take care of that and they can perfect it and whatever, and they find a means to actually even implement some type of, video recording functionality or something of the like, if they could actually implement that on the software side of things, then I say it's quite possible they could really go full blown with this as far as pushing their social network even a step further than just basically hooking it to Facebook and hooking it to MySpace and hooking it to Twitter. They could actually make it its own entity, truly and of its own.
Honestly, what I'd like to see from Miiverse and Wii U Chat in the future is to have them merged into one entity. Because as it stands, I really don't have any drive to open that app. Aside from the fact that, you got people calling me, even though I say no Wii U Chats, you got people trying to get me in calls. I'm like, hey, I'm not too keen on answering half of these calls because I really don't know any of you. Right? So I don't want to. And then most of you are kids too, so I don't really. Yeah.
No.
You can see how awkward that can be. All right. So I have it right up on my description on Miiverse. No Wii U chats, please. Right. I kind of push it off to that I really don't like the service because it's kind of buggy, and it is. It kind of drops calls. I had a couple of calls with a couple of dudes that I do know, but if they could honestly smooth out everything, put it in the Miiverse, fully integrate it, even go so far as have maybe some game recording, maybe some clips, it would drive the user base of that particular app. Because no matter who I talk to, they all say the same thing. Oh, yeah, that thing? I haven't really used it. I mean, that's the general answer. So, yeah.
And that's the thing, though. Like I said, there's so many ways that they could actually hook all these things up together to make it more palatable to the consumer that they haven't really bothered to venture into going into yet. But the thing is, like I said, to the best of our knowledge, they're not going into it. I'm thinking more like they're taking cautious steps because, I mean, hinging on another topic kind of drives the point home with the whole controversy that you have going on with PS4.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened there, what happens when you don't have any type of regulation and you put people over there with the ability to record video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That gentleman who put his poor wife up on there on the screen, I mean, stuff like this can kind of make Nintendo very hesitant, show a lot of trepidation when it comes to giving us these features.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I look what a couple perverts were able to do, and that was just drawing and text, right? Imagine you give them, video access, camera access. Good lord. Yeah.
Yep.
So that can be kind of messy.
And that's one of the reasons I'm not as vocal when it comes to that kind of stuff, because the people that I want to talk to online, I can talk to them on Skype or here on Google. So as far as gaming goes, being able to have that kind of stuff, it doesn't, is not something that I care for too much. But I know a lot of people do. I mean, as far as games, I mean, yeah, you should have that stuff. But obviously, what happened on the PS4 and 3DS wasn't a game.
Yeah, I mean,
at all.
When used correctly, these things are amazing, right? When used as intended, these things can be very good. I mean, just think about it. Just imagine you guys and myself. Whatever game you want to choose, whether it be Kart, Smash, Monster Hunter, it doesn't matter. You've got a camera in the Wii U gamepad. It's what you're using for the Wii U chat function. Imagine we're all playing a game online, we're all in the same lobby or whatever, and you're seeing me in a small window on your television screen as my camera is capturing. You're hearing my voice in real time, you're seeing my picture there along with everyone else who's in that lobby, and we're all conversing while playing the game.
Right.
I mean, that's a dream situation right
That's
there.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, you got these few individuals
Who will ruin it by doing something
for
disgusting.
everyone.
And you
That's
know
right.
what? I mean, a lot of people, okay, it's just they look at it. This is just 2 instances. These are just the people that got caught.
Exactly.
Think
Yeah.
about that show that was popular for a while. That was on MSNBC. What is it? To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how many times, how many dudes showed up over the year. I mean, and this is just what they caught. This is just the people they caught. What if that show never existed? And those were real situations. I mean, and I mean, obviously there are real situations because that's what happens. These dudes ain't just do this out of the blue. They haven't done it before. They all come on and say, "Oh, I never did this before." That's a damn lie. I mean,
Yeah.
they've obviously done it before. They feel safe enough to do it. They walk into some stranger's house. You don't know they feel that safe. They've obviously done this enough to where they feel safe. So this stuff happens a lot more than people realize. These are just the stories that we know about.
Yeah.
People don't
so-
get caught all the time. That's the thing. That's the scary thing. Is that people don't always get caught.
And then the thing is, though, the ironic part is you got a lot of people saying, well, it's not fair that you got to be strict on us just because the rest of these fools. But then at the same time, look at how many fools are out there.
It's a lot. It's a lot more than people realize.
You see, that's just it. People can't think objectively. You cannot, in most things in life, you cannot think in an absolute manner. Absolutes are bad all around.
Yeah.
You can't say, okay, well, it's just 2 guys, so let the rest of us have fun. But it's not just 2 guys, right? And even if it's in the great minority, the number of people who would use these things in this fashion, the fact is it still exists, and it really shouts right back to what I was saying when that whole swap note thing happened. It's do you really want a company who doesn't give a damn at all about these things? Just have you sign some terms of service, some EULA, say, okay, you can't sue us, but do whatever you want. I mean, these services, when used correctly, would be great, as I just said. But on the other side, it'd just be facilitating the peddling of smut, among other things.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's what I said. It's noble that Nintendo, and they knew that there was going to be gamers who weren't happy about that. But it's noble for them to care enough about it to say, well, we're not going to do it at all, even if it was just one situation that they caught. I mean, that's good to hear that a company that's supposed to be about business, supposed to be about making money all the time,
Right.
actually cared enough to say, no, we don't like that. We don't want to be associated with that, even though there's going to be a backlash from gamers.
What feature is it that's excluded from Miiverse on 3DS?
If I'm not mistaken,
Swap note.
Swap Note's excluded, and the ability to, I think, direct message on 3DS.
Yeah. You can't direct message on it.
Yeah.
You see, and all of that is a direct result of this.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking they're probably gonna try to find a way to put it back in at a later date.
Or
But right
secure
now,
it.
I don't blame them for cutting it.
Yeah.
At this point, I really can't blame them.
It's probably a temporary thing. Like I said, it's probably a temporary thing because they don't want to be associated, with that kind of stuff.
But this is what I don't understand about that though. The whole PS4 thing, that was a little bit more of a major issue because it was live on Twitch. Like everybody could see that.
Right.
I mean, between 3DS and Wii U users, unless it's like broadcast on Miiverse, it's peer to peer.
The thing is that they were worried that it was it actually helped facilitate predators getting in contact with prey victims.
Yeah.
Are we
that was the
you're talking
problem.
about the old hack
Swap
from
Notes,
last
the whole
week?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we're trying to tie it all in together, and how it all ties in is one big ugly mess.
Yeah, this was just a on-camera act of obscenity. That was, oh my God, that was something completely different.
I mean, this might sound
Similar but different.
I mean, if somebody wanted to do it, they could do it, man. Like, they basically display everybody's MAC address for free when you go to any of the locations that have the Nintendo Spot Pass.
Yeah.
And you go to the big spot pass things like Best Buys or whatever store or hotels or whatever have these wireless access points.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily hack into one of those and get all the MAC addresses of every machine that's ever logged in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can easily just find them over the internet and send whatever you want to them. So I mean, if somebody wanted to, they could do it the old-fashioned way and still catch up with people. I don't think anything that they're doing is going to stop the end goal of somebody that really wants to be a predator. To be honest with you.
No, I don't think that's their goal is to try to stop anything because they can't. You know, I think it's just they don't want to be associated with it. I think that's
That's
the way
part
they're
of the
looking
problem right there, and it's kind of a sticky situation.
I mean, Miiverse is. I hate putting it this way, I really do, but Miiverse to a predator is basically just a big old shopper's market.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
True.
Which is what
I'm like you, Zen. I get the video calls and I'm like, what pushes you, not knowing me and personally, to want to video chat with me? I mean, that just blows my mind. What makes somebody want to do
Don't
that?
get me wrong. I'm not anti-social or anything. I would swap messages with you, so long as we keep it
Oh
gaming.
yeah, messages. Yeah. Messages about gaming. Yeah, for
When
sure.
you start crossing that line into video, we start getting a little
Yeah, because then you coming into
awkward,
my house,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's different.
Right. So that's basically me for that. I don't know what to do, honestly.
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, you know what? As gamers, what can we do other than try to guard our own homes and our own kids and our own family members? That's the best that we can do, and even like pass the message on to our communities and our friends.
Yeah.
Like we do over here. We have a Google Plus community that's Nintendo based. We tell everybody be safe out there. Be careful who you chat with. Be careful with those direct video chats that you put on with people. Be careful who you give information out to. But we can't police everything, and that's the messed up part. Until, like for example, if Google were to actually put age-restricted zones and give us age-restricted circles, then if something like that were to be implemented into Google, for example, it would help. And so,
And there would be
conversely,
ways around that too, obviously, because some people will use their parents. We've had that issue.
yeah,
People use
Yeah,
their
we
parents.
kind of ran into that one.
we ran into
We
that
ran
one.
into that one a month ago.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you're never gonna be 100%.
But that's the thing, with gaming, you just got to be a responsible gamer, and that's all to it. Not to sit up here and down anybody, whoever's watching the podcast. Don't feel like we're trying to be downers here. We're just trying to tell you guys that, as many of us are parents and grandparents, many of us are contemplating having kids, etc., whatnot. Eventually, having children, etc. And we don't want to find ourselves, having our children at risk, our family members at risk, at people acting, in such a manner. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays you just can't play with that.
We want y'all to be safe, because the world we live in today is really open, very open, and that
Not in a good way.
Yeah, that opens up a lot of bad stuff. So
Yep.
we just want to make sure everybody.
Days when a sick dude would have to be outside of your window to stalk you are long gone.
Yeah.
Those days are long gone. This dude could be wherever he needs to be and have just as much access to you and your personal life. So, yeah. I mean, it's really scary when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Well, on to lighter things. Does anybody have a more lighthearted topic before we sit up here and get everybody all in a downer? Anyone? Bueller?
Going once, going twice.
I'll tell you what, throw something random out here. Since I picked up Xenoblade, I put like 10 hours into it in the past couple of days. How about we each list a couple of our favorite RPGs? Because we all played them. I'm almost certain that every single one of you also have played RPGs, if not currently play them. So, over the past gaming history, what are some of your favorites?
How many you want us to give?
Just
Because I got a list.
How about just stick with two? Try and pick your top two.
My top two?
man. I'm gonna have to go last.
Okay,
I need some thinking time. Yeah.
I'm about to piss everybody off.
All right, you go for it.
Okay, here we go. Xenoblade Chrono Trigger, done.
See, I hate you. Chrono Trigger, Tales of Symphonia.
Oh Lord.
Oh man. Okay, early Final Fantasies. I'm battling between the Mana series and Fire Emblem. I'm not too sure which I'm gonna exclude here. Let's go Fire Emblem. Early Final Fantasies and Fire Emblem. Yeah,
Okay.
the series. Yeah, the franchise.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
All right. I'm one of my favorites, and it's one that I know not a lot of people play because it only had a domestic run of 5,000 units, which is why it's $200 on eBay. Is Panzer Dragoon Saga for the Sega Saturn. That-
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a
is-
good one.
That's one of my favorite RPGs. Also, the second one's hard to come up with because I've got like Shining Force 2 is in my head, Phantasy Star 4 is in my head, Skies of Arcadia is in
I'm
my
gonna say
head.
I know Skies of Arcadia in your
Oh,
head.
I know all those
Grandia.
classics.
Yep.
Grandia. Grandia 2 especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Grandia 2 especially.
I got the two for you though, for real.
All right.
Here we go. Aiden Chronicles and Quest 64.
Hidden
Oh.
Chronicles. I actually
Gotta
owned
be
that
Quest
game.
64.
Oh Lord, Hidden Chronicles was horrible. I stomached through that game. Oh. Chronicles-
Trust me, I'm right with you, bro. Because
Oh.
I had a 64, obviously, and 64 was kind of starving for RPGs. We'll say
Yeah, no
that.
And then
And,
Chronicles was the reason.
and I was in the magazines and looking for the RPGs coming, and Quest 64 and Aiden Chronicles were them, and they were quite terrible.
Oh Lord.
Forgot all about Quest 64. That was, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Quest
64 was bad. Aiden Chronicles was far worse.
Random battle much? Quest 64?
Oh,
Oh, God.
A quick message to the Zen Gamer Nation. You guys are going to get a new countdown based on my top 10 RPGs because of this conversation.
Happy to be the muse.
Oh Lord! But I tell you right now, I'm still wincing at the thought of Aiden Chronicles. You know, oh, why'd you have to call that name back to memory?
Sorry, man. I had to do it.
Oh Lord! Everything about it—the animation, the combat system, the story.
It looked really good in the magazine.
Oh, you look awesome.
Anything could look good in the magazine.
until you actually booted it up.
Oh, man,
Oh,
then I
Lord.
booted it. I made the mistake of booting it up. Oh, no. But no,
Talk
one of my
about-
favorites was, and often forgotten, was Shadowgate 64.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Let me tell you something right now. Like I said, I would have Shadowgate 64 was pretty good. It was pretty good. One thing I would have loved to have seen on the 64, to be honest with you, that I would love to have seen full blown. What would have happened if they had actually did bring that Final Fantasy VII they originally intended on bringing?
Well, we already saw footage of what it would look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have looked great, but the gameplay would have been tight, I bet.
Them full motion videos, they killed it, you know.
Yeah, that was the only thing. Full motion video, the game.
Hold on. That brings me up to some. That brings me a question because I'm a person that has a Vita, right? So
Okay.
You exist.
so yeah,
I'm just,
So you're
I'm
the
just
one who
playing.
bought it.
yeah, I'm the guy who bought it. All right. Tell me if I'm crazy. Wouldn't it be? I guess like I don't know if it would be a system seller, but wouldn't it be nice if, say, Sony and Square just, I don't know, remade Final Fantasy VII and put it on the Vita? Like, much like
Lord.
Nintendo let Grizo do Ocarina of Time 3D?
Why
Vita
are they
already
fighting
plays
that?
Final
But that
Fantasy
would only
VII the same
make
way
too
the
much
PSP
sense.
does.
Why are they fighting
You
that? I mean, that's
I don't know.
They don't ever want to have to remake Final Fantasy VII because if they do, then all future Final Fantasies will pale in comparison, guaranteed.
It's
Oh,
true.
Lord.
Your point?
It could have been worse. They could remake 6.
Yeah, but that will literally kill the franchise right then and there.
But, I mean,
The bar will be too high.
I was looking at it from like, a selling standpoint because like people kept complaining about, because I remember, because I'm a 3DS ambassador, so people were complaining then, and like right when they started that whole start of games that started to turn it around, it started with Ocarina of Time 3D that a lot of people complained, said they didn't want, and then they got it and they loved it. Go figure.
4 million copies or something?
Yeah.
I didn't want that.
Like, if I'm Sony, I'm like, okay, take your pick, 7, 8, 9, or 6. Which one you want to remake?
any
Throw
one
it
of
in.
them.
Throw it in the throw some HD visual to it. Because where they messed up was when they did that tech demo when they was trying to push out that Final Fantasy Advent Children Complete movie. When they did the tech demo,
They reopened the
was-
wounds. They reopened
yeah,
the
they should have
wounds.
never did that. They should have never did that because now that's why people were like, shoot, give us that. That's what I want. And why won't they just do that and just make some money off of it? But that's just me.
Yeah, you're gonna see a whole bunch of Tifa cosplays then.
Oh, heck yeah. You ain't gonna see me complaining.
They're probably they're afraid they're probably just afraid they're gonna mess it up, because the people who made those games aren't around anymore, and I don't know if it's gonna be just a simple go in and redo the textures and upscale the. They might have to do some, because of the hardware differences. They may have to do some, more than that to make it work on the new system.
That is true.
This is the second time in
He's going through mitosis.
in as many podcasts that they decided to duplicate me. What the hell?
He ate the cherry.
He ain't. I'm telling you, dude. Man, you too into that Mario game.
Pad down.
We know what you're doing over there. Come on, no showing off.
Well, hopefully Zen 2 will go away.
Oh, he will.
The Dark Zen.
It's the Dark Zen. You got light and Dark Zen. Oh, by the way, speaking of the game with the infamous cherries, what do you guys think so far of Super Mario 3D World?
It's only just amazing.
Personally, dude, the visuals on it are substandard. I don't understand why I'm forced to use the gamepad. They should have let me use a classic. I'm a more traditional gamer, okay? I want a traditional.
Matter of fact, we shouldn't have had
controller.
any power-ups. We shouldn't have had any power-ups. Everything should have been a pitfall trap.
I don't know. Upscale 3DS game. That's all it is.
That's all it is. I mean, and I don't understand why there's no online multiplayer. I want to troll people.
And right now, I am extremely jelly of you dudes because my copy is still stuck in shipping.
Dude, that sucks.
Dude,
At least you have it.
I played it with my granddaughter, and she was trolling me. She kept eating up the timer. I'm like, no, come on. Let's go.
Dude, that game, real though, that game is fun. That game is freaking awesome.
Oh, my Lord.
Beautiful, dude.
It's a
game.
gorgeous and funny game. It's hilarious when you play with people, grab them and throw them in the inopportune moments. You do some unintentional stuff, or some intentional.
It's just, to me, it's weird because it's like, it's obviously Mario. It's a Mario game, but it just feels so different at the same time. It's just, I guess that's what they meant by it's one of the first true next gen game that we had. I mean, it just feels different.
Outside of that, one thing that it was on PlayerEssence.com. The achievement that this game does, right, is one that a lot of people are overlooking, and it's that this is actually the first 3D Mario game that didn't really have a lot of input from Miyamoto.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Miyamoto stepped back from it.
Good point.
Yeah. So his disciples are the ones responsible for this. And if this game is any indication, then Mario has a very bright future. So yeah.
And that means that Mr. Miyamoto can ease into his retirement whenever he chooses to do so.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw it differently. Maybe now he can fully focus on that new IP, and it won't be another Woohoo Island.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Me personally, I'm now that they pretty much said that we're getting another Galaxy. I wanted to know what they got cooked up.
Oh,
I want to know what they got cooked up for Galaxy 3 because they pretty much said we're getting another Galaxy.
Yeah, it's weird because this is a 3D Mario game, but it's more in line with the 2D ones. Like as far as the feel of it, it has.
Yeah.
It's more in line, but it does have some Galaxy feel to it and such. But it's more of a traditional, old school type of Mario game. Whereas the Galaxy is more of an adventure game, like Mario 64 and Sunshine. Those are all Mario adventure games. They're not, the regular
platform.
Kind of just platform.
This game actually has me
It has
wondering.
a timer on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually has me wondering the way they did it. Has me wondering whether or not we'll actually see any more straight up 2D Marios, because this is a perfect marriage, if you will, between the 2D Marios and the 3D Marios.
Oh man,
I'm
yeah.
wondering if they're just gonna do away with the 2D ones.
I
hope not.
Yeah.
kind of have a feeling this might be Mario. What, a new Super Mario Brothers 2 might be the last one. You might get one more, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I hope not, because those are actually pretty fun. I actually like the 2D ones. I know some people don't, but me personally, every now and then, I don't mind it. You know, it's kind of fun to like go back and just do the old school side scrollers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that the new, and I quote new, Super Mario series is just not as good as, you know, the best Mario 2D Marios like World and.
Well, they aren't made
Mario
by
3.
the internal team. They're made
Right.
by the B team.
Yeah, if the A team want to go back and say we're gonna make a sequel to Mario Super Mario World, oh yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course you'd be down for the 18 doing that.
Super.
Where's Murdoch when you need him?
If they say, oh yeah, we're gonna make a Super Mario Brothers 4, oh please, I'm there. Give me that for sure.
Just give me 3 whistles from the get and don't make me have to
fly
work
the
for it.
helicopter.
Yeah. Just give me 3 whistles from the get go and.
And bring back the frog suit. I thought the frog suit was gonna be in this one.
Yeah,
isn't it?
They was hating.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
I haven't found it yet.
Oh.
I haven't found it yet.
From what I heard is that they messed up a quote again. One of the programmers for 3D Mario World was saying that when Luigi has on a cat suit, it looks like a frog suit.
Oh.
And I think that's what they took as the frog suit's coming back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotta love
Yeah,
the mistranslations.
Yeah, you gotta love them. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened because I haven't seen one iota of a frog suit. And I've been underwater pretty, you know. I haven't seen that power up yet, so I think that's what happened.
Speaking of new Nintendo games, who here has gotten their hands on the new Zelda yet?
I have.
Not yet.
Not
No,
yet.
not yet.
I have it, but I ain't opening it. I'm scared to open it. 'Cause I'm already into like 4 games right now. I'm trying to complete.
I am loving that game right now, dude.
Oh Lord, let me ask you a question. How does that whole purchasing your own equipment thing work out?
I actually like it. It actually is very helpful because when you rent it out, it's really cheap. When you do a rent, the only thing is if you die,
Yeah,
everything you rent goes back to the guy. So you got to go back and re-rent it. And sometimes, depending on what you rent, he may jack up the price.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get it permanently?
Yeah, you can buy
later.
it, but it's super expensive later on.
Yeah, it's later on in the game because like right now I'm at the Tower of Hair and I still can't buy stuff.
Oh,
So,
okay.
And the cool thing is about that is that it takes it back to like the original, where you can go to any dungeon you want to. You might get your behind handed to you,
which you will.
but it's not as linear. It's not okay. I gotta go to this one. I gotta go to that. You can start off going to the hardest dungeon, and you rent all the tools you want, but you might not be ready for that yet. But it's cool that you can have that. It opens the game up.
A perfect example, if you played A Link to the Past, a perfect example is of like, you know how in The Link to the Past, it took you a while before you could get the Zora flippers. I got the Zora flippers in like the first hour. So it's stuff like that. Like you can, if you go just go across the game board, you gonna get money. Like you get money by accident. You get rupees basically by accident. You can run into stuff and find like a silver rupee or something like that. So you can go and get, once you meet Ravio, who's the guy who does the renting of the items, the item seller or whatever, you can get whatever you need. Me personally, I went and got the hammer first, and I got the bombs. The hammer, bombs, and a bow. That's the first 3 things I got. Because every Zelda fan knows you're going to need your bombs, and you're going to need the bow just because it's long range. And you're gonna need a hammer for the stakes if you ever played the original. And yes, they use the same exact overhead map. And yes, you are going to get lost if you're going by that old map. Because I was going by the old map. I'm like, okay, I know where all this stuff at. Where everything at?
I think they took advantage of that. They saw you.
Oh, they sucking everybody. Man.
They set you up.
Because you'll go there like, I know I'm at the right place. I know this. I just played this last week. I know where I'm at. Yeah, good luck.
You know, the thing is though, you know that they're going to use they said they're going to use a similar premise or something along those lines for the new Zelda that's coming.
Yeah.
Anuma basically said that this one was basically they're testing things with this one. And I think what they were testing was the renting system, and they're testing something else. It's probably going to be the power-ups.
Well, they mentioned something about being open world like the first Zelda.
Yeah, the more open. Yeah, you can go anywhere right from the
start. And I guess my question about that is, since you played it already, is the storyline still the same? Are you still the same descendant?
Yeah, you're still the same descendant.
Okay.
You're still the same descendant.
Uncle?
Well, they didn't say your uncle, but this time
No
like
spoilers.
you're working for a blacksmith.
Okay.
But you are.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a direct sequel. It's supposed to be the same Link in this one.
Yeah, you are the descendant of that Link.
Yeah.
Descendant of the Link or the actual Link?
Descendant of
that.
Descendant.
Okay.
Descendant of the Link in Zelda 2, basically.
Yeah. You're basically of that bloodline. Basically.
All right.
But this time you're a blacksmith apprentice.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You're not like a I think because in the first one you were just like an apple farmer or something stupid. But this one you're actually a apprentice. Oh, and during the cutscenes, cut the 3D on.
Okay.
When you're doing the cutscenes, cut the 3D on. Trust me, the 3D is beautiful in it.
Yeah,
I was told you should play the whole game in 3D. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Well, see, it depends. Cause like me personally, I don't play the whole game in 3D because they have these little mini dungeons, I guess you could call them, for treasure, and those things get on my nerves. 3D gets on my nerves in them dungeons. So I cut it off during that stuff, and I cut it on during the boss fights and the cutscenes. But that's just me. That's my own personal preference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Oh, and I know how some of y'all love Gear Him. I know how some of y'all love Gear Him from Skyward Sword. You're gonna love this guy.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
You're gonna love this guy.
Poor Link. Is Link gonna have?
Go ahead.
Is Link gonna have any more of those awkward moments like he did with Girahim?
Oh man.
No. I hadn't run into any yet.
All right, so we got another fabulous villain.
But
that's
I did run into some flamboyance.
Okay then.
I ran into flamboyance.
That's good stuff. I love that stuff.
Well, a piece of random news here. Any of you guys subscribe to this dude, Alpha Mega Sin, on YouTube?
Man, I love that guy.
That guy's awesome.
Well, he's got a new video up right now, and apparently Lindsay Lohan wants to sue Rockstar Games over apparent likeness in GTA 5.
I'm sorry.
One of the prostitutes?
I'm sorry.
I
think it's the chick on the cover, or...
Wow, shots fired.
The chick is holding up the chick is holding up the peace sign and the phone, and she's in beachwear. Yeah, that chick.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, she's reaching it, don't you think?
She must need some money, but
and go if you subscribe to him, you can go look at the thumbnail. He's got the two pictures right there in the thumbnail.
I see him.
She
don't look nothing like that.
I gotta check this out. This is hilarious.
Oh Lord, I'm telling you something right now. That is just crazy. Okay, why is she trying to be Ellen Page?
I have no idea. At least with Ellen Page,
she was right.
her. Yeah, that was her. What Naughty Dog did, Naughty Dog calls her in one day, took pictures of her. Hey, we just want to take pictures of you with the crew. Yeah. Naughty Dog went up there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, and while you're there, can you put these little ping pong ball suits on? You know what I'm saying? This little ping pong ball suit. Yeah. Now we want you to pose like this, and then we want you to pose like that.
Hey, thanks, bye.
So basically, where that Lindsay Lohan thing is concerned, Lindsay, I know you're not listening to this, and if by some random chance you are, girl, you wish you looked like that girl in that box art.
No.
Man, Lindsay Lohan don't even know somebody that looks like her.
Oh Lord, that's a shame. That's all I gotta say is that's a daggone shame. It seems like, you know what, having all that lack of movie making money, you know, all that lack of money from making movies and all that, starting to finally get to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get when you have a lack of career.
She ain't even a natural blonde. I mean, what the
Well,
Wait,
there's
how
always
would you
Dancing
know?
with the
I saw the whole movie. She's a redhead, ain't she?
Brunette, yeah.
She's a brunette, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
That's hilarious. Dang, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Oh Lord. But I tell you what though, people sue over the dumbest things it seems nowadays.
Yep.
Oh man. So anybody else got any interesting topics? Any news to dish out? Any interesting points that they want to bring up?
Jamie? Haven't heard from you in a while.
Go ahead, Jamie.
I don't have anything going on here. I mean, well, I got engaged this past week. I mean, that's a new thing for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, my friend.
Finally
Thank
got
Poor
the man
soul.
down.
you.
Dead man walking. I mean.
Yep. I got my YouTube channel set up, so I mean I've I have an introductory video of what I picked up on Black Friday, and I actually have a Pokemon Nuzlocke run going on right now. One video posting every day. So
Cool.
I'm gonna get some more stuff up soon, but that's just what I got right now.
Oh yeah. Before I forget, and before we wrap this thing up, guys, all of you except of course T and Quan, if you don't mind, if you could just include a link to your channels if you have one in the group chat, so I can use it for promotions on my channel. Give you guys a little love over there. So,
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
No problem. We'll do a cross linking then.
Yeah.
No problem.
No problem. Then okay, we could do that. And one thing I was sitting up here and taking a good look at is this. Jason Rubin.
I know that name. Why do I know that name?
Okay, Jason Rubin,
Because he has a
former
big
president
mouth.
former president of THQ.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
that
all
guy,
right.
my favorite.
Yeah, the guy who says that Nintendo as a hardware manufacturer is irrelevant.
That's why I know that.
I love him.
He's the
That's
guy telling
hilarious.
IGN and everybody else that they need to go third party, and he's got them thinking the same way.
Wow.
It worked so well for him in his company. Wow.
Whoops.
What do you guys think of his little statements and how everybody who has a company that's now defunct getting in the funk with Nintendo? Why is Nintendo the closest punching bag? How come nobody goes after Sony or Microsoft whenever they lose their companies? Why is it
Because
they
you
never
don't go after the uncle that's going to give you all the money. You go after the uncle that ain't going to give you no money.
Okay, I see
This is
now.
true.
So basically, he is blaming Nintendo for the fall of THQ.
Actually, he wasn't. Not at first. It was another one of his employees, one of the guys that worked on the Darksider series, as a matter of fact. But he came out earlier this year because now he's working on his indie studio and he's singing Nintendo's praises. Because
he
he
has.
actually,
I get it. He has Magikarpitis. Okay.
basically, yeah.
Okay.
What happened is they didn't. What happened with THQ was they didn't. If I'm remembering correctly, they never played the Wii U when they got when they were supposed to put Darksiders 2 on Wii U. Another company handled that. It wasn't that original team.
Right.
So what happened was they never played it. They never used it. They got a dev kit. They never used it. So
Like everybody else that talks crap.
yeah. So when they actually, when they actually went to the forum, when they actually had to get broken up and sold, a couple of the people that went and started their own indie studios went and finally used it, and that's when they were like, "Dude, this is actually pretty fun." And I actually read the blog of the developer of one of the senior engineers for THQ at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, at the time I didn't have it, I didn't play it, and I did make some comments, but after playing it, I get it." I'm like, "Dude, then you need to go to IGN, you need to go to GameStop."
I read that article
Back,
too,
dude.
and that article is hidden.
They wouldn't put that up.
Yeah.
They wouldn't put it up anyway.
Oh
You know,
no, I had to find the blog. I had to actually find the blog post because the only reason why I found it was because I was looking up some stuff on some new indie titles, and that's where I found it.
Yeah, I mean, it says sensational lies are on page 1, and retractions are on page 10.
Yeah, so that's
That's how it works.
THQ. He's mad. The president is mad because he couldn't get none of that money, just like the rest of the third parties. Nintendo won't give him that money.
Yeah.
They want the money, and Nintendo won't give it to
But
him.
how do they
and-
blame Nintendo? That's what I'm confused.
Because Nintendo just won't like Microsoft.
How do they blame
Microsoft
them for
changed the game by throwing money at them.
So because Nintendo didn't give them money, that's why they went under.
That's why a lot of
Wow.
yeah, that's why a lot of because like
I'm
think
sorry,
about
but that's just hilarious.
it's hilarious to me because I'm like, dude, I can't believe you actually believe that stuff that you coming out your mouth. But that's basically what it was. I mean, he wants to get, paid, apparently, and who can blame him? But if you don't put out anything worth buying, don't sit up and complain about it.
Yeah.
I said as much in my teabag, my recent one, is that what if Del Monte, who's making cans of corn, had to pay the store to put their cans of corn on the shelf? How long would they be in business? I mean, how long would that store? If the store had to pay Del Monte to put the cans on the shelf, I'm trying to say, how long would that store be in business, having to pay every?
Well, the video game industry is different because guess what? Not only is Sony and Microsoft paying developers, but they're also paying for freaking shelf space in GameStop.
I mean,
Which is one of the main reasons why whoever takes over Microsoft, I hate that to say this. This ain't me being a hater or nothing, because these 5 candidates them pretty much said they're selling the game division.
Yeah, the new guy.
Yeah.
All
but
5
Nintendo's
candidates that they talked to said they're going to sell it because having a $2 billion loss is unacceptable for any division, which is true if you're running a company or a corporation. That's just unacceptable. That's not an acceptable loss.
What would it take to save the Xbox division if it was going down that route? Is what I'm thinking.
For Windows Phone to excel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rare games.
What killed, what messed them up, honestly, was that when that Red Ring of Death for the 360, they had to pay out so much to get that fixed. That's where a majority of it came from. Then on top of that, paying for live.
That's the ironic part about all of this. If they spent half of the money that they paid out because of the Red Ring of Death into ensuring that the damn thing didn't Red Ring in the first place, then they'd be in a better position. I mean, where's R&D in all of this?
Well, they had to cut funds. They had to cut funds and use Mexico. The lowest. I mean, the lowest bidder, because guess what? They were still in the red from the first Xbox.
But I thought they knew that. They knew that, and they pushed it out anyway because they wanted to beat everybody else to the market. They knew that those things were faulty. I mean, they knew that.
Yeah, that's what happened in 2005. Yeah,
right.
That's exactly what happened in 2005, and that's why they had problems. The same reason why PS3 had problems, because when PS3 first came out, they was melting the HDMI cords.
Right.
At least this time it don't melt.
It just doesn't read it. It just doesn't send any signal. Yeah.
And yellow light of death also.
Your HDMI just won't fit now. That's
They fixed that problem. It ain't gonna melt this time. It's just ain't gonna work.
Oh Lord.
Troll. Oh, he trolled him.
I mean, come on. I mean,
in 3, 2, 1.
I mean, sooner or later, with all of these consoles, you're gonna have to get the manual for the device itself and a separate, let's say, 200-page manual for just for troubleshooting. So
I'm just telling you right now, though, like I said, let's just hope that they did something that doesn't land them in too much hot water with this new Xbox, because I've been hearing about some kind of failures here and there in some respects, one or another, but nothing really major.
Right.
I didn't hear anything too major about it. Not as bad as I heard with the PS4, but I don't know. As far as what the percentages are, you can't quote me on that, because as I said, I haven't bought into either one.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the reason why you have not been hearing about the Xbox One's failures compared to the publicity that the PS4 failures did in fact get that week of launch is because you got to remember, it's the Western gaming media, and who does the Western gaming media love more than Microsoft? So all of their failures are on the hush-hush right now. That's just me. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Even on the Sony side, though, they try to damage control it too.
Yes, they did.
Imagine what would have happened if the Wii U had failures like this.
Oh, everywhere.
Listen to what happened, right? So the Wii U came out right in November. People were complaining, and I actually put this on the video because I went to the actual video for where they talked about the launch, and they complained about having a day one update. To be able to enable features like the virtual console and stuff like that, right? But a Wii U out of the box could play a game.
That's right.
Now, both the Xbox One and the PS4 require day one updates No bad talk about it
Crickets.
at all.
Crickets. Nothing. You hear nothing
From
about
the
it.
exact same outlet, from the exact same
Yeah.
video, from the exact same podcast, Daily Fix.
Yep.
Mm.
And
I
not only that,
quoted in
people-
source on both
people-
on the same day for all 3 consoles.
Yeah. People were breaking their own consoles because they was too impatient. They was
Yeah.
waiting for the update, and they
And there was a
unplugged
negative
it,
article for that.
and there was negative articles for that. I was like, really? That's interesting.
You know, but the thing is, like I said, this console generation, I got a feeling people are going to get so exhausted with the whole trying to fight over which console is better, what console's better, whatever one's going to be better. People are going to be actually getting their heads out their behinds and start gaming for once. Because
Dude,
they're
I'm
going to get
already
tired of the
exhausted.
fighting.
One
That's what
would
I'm
hope.
saying.
One would hope.
I'm going with hope here. I got to play that card here. I'm going with the hope that people will actually start playing their consoles.
Yeah. Well, I think if they start giving us some damn games to play.
There you go.
You know?
Quan,
I know
Quan, they're not going to play their consoles. They're just going to go back to PC gaming.
Oh,
Oh.
Hey,
Yeah.
just saying.
Burn.
Just saying.
Trolling
You
to
know-
begin in 3, 2, 1.
You know, I think the
My GTX
catalyst for
Titan.
the catalyst for what Quan is saying probably will be the Steam box. I don't know.
Yes,
maybe,
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, that'll cause it
Because-
all to happen. Yeah.
The Steam box, like I said, though, people don't get it. It's nothing more than it's an iBot Power PC. That's all it is. iBot Power
Yep.
PC. That's all. It's all. It's an out-of-the-box PC where you didn't build it yourself. Done.
Basically.
Right.
And you're running Linux. Done.
hmm
And like I said, I got a hard drive set up here that I run Zorin OS off of. Guess what? Done. I could already do that straight out the box. So I mean, I don't need a Steam box for that. But whatever.
Hey Quan, we talked about this earlier in the week, but I kind of wanted to kind of touch on that topic because it's kind of related a little bit here.
Go for
And
it.
It's more of like I understand why these developers want to do what they want to do, why they feel they need to make Nintendo the blunt of everything, because they're not going to fall for what they're trying to do. And when I talked to Quan earlier this week, basically, I'm gonna give a little disclaimer here. This is gonna be a little anti-Nintendo, but I kind of agree with Michael Pachter and Hip Hop Gamer a little bit, and only because I understand
Heresy.
now.
Blasphemer!
Before I'm shot as a resident Nintendo fanboy, apparently. I understood the point that they were trying to make, and that's basically, hey, look, all we care about is the money, right?
Yeah.
And as a financial investment, Nintendo is hell. You never know what they're going to do. They buck all the trends that everybody else uses, whether their stock goes up or
Right.
down. All the losers do one thing, and all the winners do one thing. Nintendo does not.
Right.
So to Pachter and everybody else, they are extremely unpredictable, and they have no way to really say whether they're going to increase in sales or not.
Right.
And with them bucking trends the way that they do, just like the Wii. Come on, nobody betted on the Wii when it came out
Nobody.
in 2006.
Nobody.
Everybody laughed at it.
They
and
were
thought it was a
laughing
joke.
at the Wii.
The exact same way. And then, I want to say 3 months later, everybody bet on Nintendo. Get Nintendo stock. You
Yeah.
know, because they were nowhere to be found. They were sold out everywhere.
Right.
So Pachter kind of makes a point where he says that I'm going to tell everybody that's investing not to go with him.
Because
And
they
if you've got a lot of money, that's probably the best bet, because unless you know exactly what you're talking about and you deal with them on a day-to-day basis and you know exactly what they have in the pipeline, you don't know what you're betting your money on.
So in other words, he's going over there to Vegas and he's betting it all on black. He's not choosing a particular number to ride.
Basically. And he's riding that opinion over to the same way that all the other developers are. The developers are like, hey, we don't like this either because they're making us actually develop games for their system, and they're not going to give us money to put it over there, and they're going to charge us the licensing fee. And I'm like, but Sony and Microsoft also do the same thing. The only thing is you have kudos because you make this great game that sells a lot of copies elsewhere, so we're going to say waive you the licensing fee or give you this money after you make the game to counteract that. And
I think-
Nintendo doesn't do that.
I think Nintendo just sees a trend coming. Two things. One, two-screen gaming. Two, the indies on the rise compared to the large, third parties that you see nowadays. All because of what you've been seeing happening. They see a trend happening. They've been around in the business longer than most. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to gaming. And they're like this, okay, well, we've seen this all before. We know where this is going. Chuck the Chuck Wagons rode his last ride. Here we go. Batten down the hatches. Here comes an incoming crash. And that's all they're doing. They're preparing
Well,
for
Quan,
it.
when you see this last generation we just had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that betted against Nintendo, everybody bet against Nintendo, we saw major losses. So we saw major losses of not only small game companies to the tune of several hundred that are undocumented, but also two major publishers. Like, when does a publisher go out of business? When does that happen?
Oh, they've been dropping like flies.
So now you have major publishers that house games for dozens of development houses. They're out of business. So now you've got developers going out of business because they don't have nobody that's willing to send them the money to get their copies pressed. Like, when does that ever happen in any generation?
That's crazy.
Well, that's actually happened in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, right after the Atari stuff. That makes a lot of sense.
The big
But-
crash.
This is part of why I keep saying that the current environment where you've got first parties paying off third party developers. That's why I keep saying it's so toxic to the industry right now. We're leading to another crash, and a lot of people just don't see it or don't want to admit it.
Nope.
I mean, it's the same type of behavior, same type of corruption you can say in the music industry, where a lesser known artist has to pay a radio station to get his music played.
Yes,
Right.
and that is true.
Yeah.
I definitely can speak from experience on that.
Right? So, and a bigger guy is just going to get the song played regardless, but the smaller guy has got to pay the money to get the publicity. It's the same thing that these third parties are doing. Right? You got to pay us to give you what we do.
It's
Yeah.
backwards. It's completely backwards.
And the thing is, that's what's going to end up tearing up this industry for a good long while. Until they can get out of that attitude, you're going to see the industry going, steadily on a downward spiral. It's going to be circling the drain for a while. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a lot for, for them to overcome all these, trials that they got coming up as far as, trying to keep their companies afloat. They're going to be the next THQ if they don't watch themselves.
Not
Zen,
PC, man.
Zen.
PC's on the rise. PC.
Man,
Here's the thing, though.
You mentioned something important, Zen. You mentioned one important thing. You said music, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, what happened to music? Digital. What's happening now? Digital. So my question is this: will our demand as everything becomes more digital, will that change the publisher relations now? Because right now it doesn't matter whether you pay for a million plays of rotation on a radio station. If it's hot on YouTube or it's hot on Pandora, you're gonna get a publishing deal.
Very true. Very true.
True.
Yeah.
So the question is, will the crap that they're doing right now, will it become irrelevant in the next 5 years or so? That's actually a kind of a good little point that you kind of brought up there.
I don't know what to say about
5
that.
years, I don't know.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10, yeah. Because I hate to have to say it like this, but like a lot of this stuff, think back to like when we were young, like late 80s, early 90s, Super NES era. Remember, it was all creativity. There was a lot of creativity. Yeah, you had like your certain types of games, your certain types of genres. Like you had your Street Fighters, you had your Breath of Fires, you had those, but it was a lot more creativity. Now you got publishers putting the same exact game on two different systems.
Right.
The same
that's the
one.
difference.
The only
That-
thing you paying for is early access to this great DLC.
Right. That's the difference.
So
It was the same
my
problem.
thing
It had
is,
to crash.
yeah, my thing is, okay, third parties, let me put it to you like this. You want to prove to me that I should buy your game, why don't you do something, why don't you be creative for a change? Why don't you make a game across and just make it different? Don't make the same daggum thing.
DLC first on Xbox One.
Yeah.
And that is kind of exactly, we really may see another crash very soon, within the next 5-10 years or so, because it's the same thing happening again. The reason why you're not recognizing it is because, well, difference of the times and the way things are happening. I mean, the scale, I don't know what it is, but you have a stagnation of creativity. First up, right? That happened way back then.
Yeah.
Then you have basically corporate politics. That's happening again. So, it's the same things happening again, albeit on a different scale. So, yeah, we might, in fact, get another crash. I mean, who knows? You know what the catalyst will be? If someone like EA goes out, yeah, that's going to be it.
Oh, EA working on it, boy. They trying their best.
They trying harder to be the next.
They trying, boy. They trying their best, boy. Woo, they trying their best.
they looked unstoppable at one point. They just looked unstoppable. They
Yeah,
don't
now
look
they
that
look
way
very
anymore.
unstoppable.
EA is now trying their best to be the best company, the best as good as company in the whole entire world now. Now they're
Yeah,
kissing
right.
up to everybody.
You mean the best candidate for the Golden Poo?
Oh, Lord.
well,
They trying their best to kiss up to everybody now, it seems. Though.
yeah, because that whole DRM thing fell through for them across the board. They
really
weren't
did.
expecting
And
it.
Origin.
Yeah, and Origin.
but
Origin
you're
was the
saying-
first.
yeah.
Origin was the first strike. That the DRM thing was the second strike, because when everybody found out what it was going to be, that's when people got pissed, because nobody explained it to anybody properly. Because you put a suit out there explaining something that a developer says is gonna work. Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, but Quan, you saying they're trying to kiss up to everyone. How in the world are you going to kiss up to someone and then throw them under the bus the next second and then want to kiss up to them the second following that?
Well,
I mean, how is that working?
It
must be
depends
talking
on who's
about
talking.
Nintendo.
It depends on with EA. It depends on who's talking. Because if Hillerman's talking, yeah, he's throwing people under the bus. If it's that new president they got, we need to hold hands and smoke weed and be peaceful.
They need to.
Because, I mean-
They need to hire Joey. They need to hire back the guy who played Joey Suzu.
Because I mean, you can't come and shoot me in my kneecap and then want to sing Kumbaya later. I ain't for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what that is
Yeah.
with EA. EA, it's like too many people talking. Like the president go say one thing and being like, yeah, we're looking at all our all the different systems and seeing what our strengths are, and then you got like engineers and developers like, man, screw that system. You know?
Yeah, you got people that dice running their mouth when they should be developing games.
Yeah.
Well, then
like,
you know
dude,
what needs to happen? The president, the guys who are trying to kiss up, needs to throw their own employees under the bus. It's like,
That's-
you said that shit? Oh, you fired. You out of here.
You know the thing is though, few
Yeah.
companies that do that actually bother to penalize their leadership. Look at Nintendo. When they thought that they screwed up, they took pay cuts across the board and everything. You would never see EA do nothing like that. You want to prove to me that you think that you're screwing up and that you could do better? Okay, then take a pay cut.
oh, they ain't gonna do that.
Of course
They got
not.
I mean-
three vacation homes.
The bottom line is these dudes are burning bridges left and right, and they're sectioning themselves off. Eventually, they ain't gonna have much friends. So
And they'll throw money at it.
And you know what? That brings up a good point, because like the funny thing about it, remember how like everybody was saying, oh, Nintendo should go third party? And I know I said, like, if Nintendo does go third party, do you know who's gonna hate that? The
All
third
the
party.
third parties.
If
They ain't gonna be able
can't-
to compete.
Yeah, if they can't compete on a Nintendo console, what you think gonna happen when Microsoft
Nintendo's on their console.
Yeah, what you think gonna happen
Yeah.
when Microsoft gets their hands on Star Fox and Metroid?
you're gonna have this moment where presidents, third parties, the world around are gonna be sitting at their desks, holding in their heads like,
You know
What
what's
have we
you know
done?
what's so you know so sad about that though?
You just scared me. He scared me with that Microsoft get their hand on Star Fox. And,
No, I'm just saying. though,
Because I'm
but
thinking
think
about
about
Rare.
it. Yeah, think about what would have happened if that were to happen, and they get their hands on that. Dude, EA, they might as well just go on and close up shop.
What's so sad is Nintendo will single-handedly kill every other third party without even doing their best. Because what is Nintendo's best thing about being the first party? They know their hardware in and out. They designed it for the way that they create games.
Yep.
So if they're doing it for a system that they don't even have the same thought process on, and they still make better games, I mean, that's just really embarrassing for everybody.
Yeah, it would be embarrassing. That's why I laugh when I hear people say, "Man, don't you think Metroid would look good on the PS4?" No.
No.
They were like, "Why?" Because it won't be designed to play on that. There's a reason why Metroid Prime 3 Corruption plays excellent on the Wii. There's a reason why it wouldn't play excellent on PS3 or Xbox.
Well, think about it this way, right? Has anybody? Okay, I know emulators are kind of a weird topic.
Oh,
Has
jeez.
anybody noticed how high anybody knows how high the requirements are to emulate any of those old systems, particularly Nintendo?
Yeah.
Because it takes, you know what I'm saying, you're basically emulating high power, and you basically have to brute force everything that they
all the memory subsystems and everything that they did, like kind of dynamically. It was in between the scenes. So if you have to use that much horsepower to throw everything on top, clearly they're doing things a very specific way. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, what has me interested in this whole Nintendo third-party thing is that you're gonna have a great Nintendo fan migration, right? And wherever they end up, they're gonna be on the same sides with the dudes who've been saying they don't play Nintendo games because it's kiddie. So you're gonna have these moments all over the world or all over the internet where these dudes are like, "Hey, we're on the same side now. Sup now?" You know?
Oh, that would be funny. That would be
that would be funny. That would make for classic moments, man.
Because then what's the excuse gonna be?
Exactly. I'm a Sony fan just like you. I'm playing the Nintendo games that they got. What's up now?
Hey, a guy clowned me in GameStop because I wanted to pick up Wonderful 101. And I told him I was looking forward to playing that game. Then after he does that, he proceeds to go over to a demo for a PS4 and look at Knack.
I know you laughed at him, right?
I snickered and walked right out the door.
I know you laughed from a good, healthy place.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm telling you right now, though, it's just hilarious that you see such a bias against Nintendo for being kiddie, but then everybody else can be just as kiddie, and still nobody, clowns them at all.
Oh my
It's
God,
just-
Microsoft has Viva Pinata. Are you serious?
that's what I'm saying, dude.
It has its own cartoon show Saturday morning.
I know, man. And it's like, oh Lord. And the thing is, ain't
You know-
nothing. You know what? People gotta stop sitting up here and acting like that's the end all be all of everything to sit up here and look down on. Because let me tell you something right now. If you're trying to single them out as being kiddie, I would like for you to play Xenoblade Chronicles like the first, hour in, and tell me how kiddie that was.
That game is dark. Dude.
But that's not
All of that game is
Nintendo.
dark.
That's Monolith Soft. That's not
Oh,
Nintendo.
yeah.
Oh Lord. That game.
You know how Naughty Dog is Sony.
The first hour was dark. I mean, dark.
Yep.
Hour and a half.
And it gets worse.
And it gets worse. And it gets more depressing.
And it gets religious.
Oh, it gets all emo.
And at that point,
But like I said, though, they just kill me with that noise, and talking about something that it's kiddie and all that.
anytime somebody says that, I point to No More Heroes too.
Yeah, exactly.
No More Heroes. I dare you play that with the volume all the way up. That first 5 minutes, first 10 seconds, I dare you to play with the volume all the way up. You got kids in the house. I dare you.
That doesn't even bother me, when people, because that's the one thing that they have that they want to have against Nintendo is it's kiddie. They can't say the games suck. They can't say the games aren't great.
No, because even the dudes who agree with them, if they said that, even the dudes who agree with them on a regular basis would run them the hell out of the comment section.
Exactly. So that's the one that they can try to use because it's acceptable. That's an acceptable thing to call Nintendo kiddie. So.
The first 5-year-old or 6-year-old you find that can find every star in Super Mario Sunshine, I'll give you $1 million.
Exactly.
Oh, dude,
find me the first 5-year-old that you could get beat from beginning to end Pikmin 3, and then we'll talk.
Exactly.
yeah, especially Super Mario Sunshine. That freaking
hardcore.
Yeah.
The special zones. Oh God.
That's not hardcore.
That's pain.
There isn't any shooting in that.
Shoot, Star Fox, all lanes, do it.
Yeah.
Do a barrel roll.
There you go. Do that. See if you can have a 5-year-old do all that. I don't think so. That's why they need to get over their whole kiddie mess. Presentation is not enough because some of these animations that you see are not intended for kids. I'll even go a step further. I'll play devil's advocate here. Look at Shrek. Look at the double entendres you see throughout the thing.
Shrek, Ice Age to a certain extent.
Dude, Ice Age
if anybody's ever watched Animaniacs,
oh Lord,
that show was not for
kids, but
it was never for kids.
That game was that game, the whole entire cartoon series, everything about it was seedy. I'm telling you, Animaniacs especially. Awesome. I'm telling you, it was seedy. I'm telling you, it was seedy.
It don't make any sense because you can sit there and say, oh, Mario is kiddie, blah blah blah, but you have no problem with, like I said, superheroes flying around in tights and
it makes no sense.
It just doesn't make any sense. How do you?
If you can watch professional wrestling and yet bash Nintendo, you got a problem. That's all I gotta say.
Here's something I find funny. When you crack open Wonderful 101, all the innuendos in that doggone game,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
all the stuff they do in that game, like, dude, that is not for kids. Yes, it is colorful. Yes, it is fun. That is made by
The
that
same
Team
people that made
Beautiful.
Bayonetta.
But
Yeah.
you know what?
I'm like, complain about that.
I mean, for me, if you have a problem with colorfulness, I think you have a problem.
I
What
don't
is
know.
wrong with
That's
you?
censored.
What is
I
wrong with
don't-
you that you
yeah.
can't accept something that's colorful? And I just don't understand that.
The colors have to be
protest,
drab for it to be hardcore.
Right? I just don't.
I have no idea what's wrong with some of these quote unquote adults out here. I mean, do you hit 30 and go colorblind? What's wrong with that?
Exactly.
I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. Like I said, man, I don't know. I think they just need that extra dose of dude, bro, to prove they still have an XY chromosome instead of XX. That's what it is.
If you don't like color, the perfect sarcastic game that's picking fun at these people is Mad World. Go play Mad World.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Oh.
'Cause I don't think people understood what that game was. I'm like,
It
dude,
was
they making
satire.
fun of. Yeah, they were making fun of the whole dude, bro. You hardcore because it didn't make any sense. They made fun of it.
That
Right.
was a pure satire.
And they didn't, a lot of people
And
didn't get the
they ate
joke.
No, they didn't.
Well, I guess we could wrap it up here if we don't have any other topics. What about you guys? What do you think?
No, thank God.
You guys have any other topics?
I got
Anything
nothing.
else you want to discuss? Okay, Jamie's got nothing. Jay?
I got nothing.
Jay?
I got a lot, but nothing for the top. Nothing for the top.
Okay, Fox?
I think I'll reserve everything for my channel once it's finally up in a couple of days.
Okay. Don't forget to put the link over here inside the group chat so that if anybody needs it to post for, publicity sleek or whatever, they can do that thing.
Will do. Beware, adults only.
Oh, Lord. You know you can do that, right? You know you can make your videos adults only, right?
I think I'll have to.
Oh, Lord.
This ought to be interesting. Shadow Fox After Dark.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
Quiet Storm.
What about you, Zendo? You got anything?
Nothing for this week. I mean, if I open my mouth and say this thing, we're gonna be here for another hour. So.
Oh, Lord.
True that.
And I got nothing myself, so I guess we could sit up here and do our outros and get ready to call it a night. Let's start over here with Jamie Butterworth. Do your thing, bro.
Hey, Jamie, signing out. Had a good podcast. Check out my YouTube channel. I want to call it Butterworthy as soon as I figure out how to change the damn channel name. And I'll catch you guys later.
Okay, he wants to come up Butterworthy. Okay.
Butterworthy, that's right.
Tongue twister. Anyway. All right. No, I think you could change your name as long as it includes your name somehow in it. I don't know how they do it now with Google Plus.
I have no idea.
Me neither. All right, and let's see. Coming up next, we got Jay. Jay, get ready to say your outro.
Thank you again for a lovely evening hearing us banter back and forth. Once again, this show was brought to you by Dumb Coaching Decisions. Just remember that. Dumb Coaching Decisions brought you this show tonight. You guys have a lovely evening. We'll see you next week.
And up next, we got our man, the myth, the legend, Mr. T. Do your thing.
Hey, fools, and once again, I had a great time on another podcast. This is the third hour of podcasting I did today. Earlier, we had Player Essence Network podcast, and just in case some of y'all don't know, I am now part of the Player Essence Network. And so, going forward, I'm going to be partnered up with them and Nintendo and, Zen Gamer and Critical Hit Productions as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I got the next video coming out will be the first official PE Network video, and it's going to be another Tea Time commentary.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
T-Time commentary. Uh-oh. Up next, we got Shadow Fox. Do your thing, man.
This is the Road Ninja K9 Descent, just back from slashing throats of everybody that spent the entire Thanksgiving day shopping for stuff instead of spending it with their family. I would also like to say in closing that I am a multi-console owner now. And guess what? You play games to have fun and to impress other people.
Alrighty then. And now we got another man, another myth, another legend, the Zen Gamer.
Hey, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. funnily enough, I'm not exactly burnt out right now. I don't know why. But anyway, just another podcast, just me and here with the guys. Look forward to another one. I don't know if it's next week or the week after that, but it's been a blast. So I'm out.
Alrighty, and up here, wrapping it up over here is me, myself, and I, Kwame Manchu, QMC. You know, just sitting up here doing my thing with my buddies over here. As usual, the Gamers at Large podcast, and it's been real. And as I always say, everyone, whatever's clever. We out.